Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming and welcome to a big video on the Steam Winter Sale. So this time we are looking at games below 250 rupees and you'll be surprised to see what we can get for very little money. Now with the regional pricing, most of these should be under 10, between 5 and 10, a lot of them under 5 as well, because it's different from different publishers. It's not consistent in USD. So all these games are under 250, most are under 10, some under 5, and one or two just a tiny bit here and there. So we start off with Subnautica, probably the best survival crafting game, and I've played this a lot. This game got a big update recently, many years after it released, and they have updated the UI, updated a lot of the other features, added stuff from the second game, even like crafting rooms and things like that, and they have fixed quite a lot of bugs, like hundreds of bugs. So if you haven't played this game, this is the best time to check this out. So overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, 237 in India, 66% off. This is the usual low, a fraction over $10, so 10.19. This is the only game that is above $10. Next is probably everybody's favorite Metroidvania platformer. This is Hollow Knight. A very beautiful looking game, wonderful music, great gameplay, combat, etc. The world, the setting they've created where you are fighting these insects, and of course you are an insect as well. Big map as well of the whole sort of hidden city underground. They call it Souls-like, but I don't think it's that difficult. So wonderful game. Everybody should definitely check this out. This is 50% off, 239 in India, $749, 549 pounds. One of the best FPS campaigns in recent years is from Titanfall 2. The multiplayer aspect isn't great these days. It is a good game, under the core mechanics are great, but the servers are not great, lots of cheaters, etc., and player base is dying. But the campaign is wonderful. 5-6 hours roughly. You have your own mech, great story, futuristic setting. So this is 84% off, 239 in India, $479 and 4 pounds. When it comes to ARPGs, a lot of people probably consider Grim Dawn as the best one out there currently, and I would agree. It's got a lot of variety, it's very well made, multiple sort of systems where you can have two different loadouts, etc. And yeah, generally I've enjoyed this from the little that I've played. I haven't played too much, but yeah, wonderful game. A lot of like the old Titan Quest style gameplay, but of course a little more modern, better graphics, etc. So this is 75% off for the base game, 142 in India, 624 pounds, $624, 499 pounds. Middle Earth Shadow of War. So the second game in the Middle Earth series, great combat. The story isn't particularly great, but it's all about the combat, the open world, and making your combos, moves, and taking down orcs, massive orcs like this here in the background. Big game, download wise as well. So this is about 100 GB if you install it, and it's the amazing Nemesis system that makes each fight very memorable. So this is 85% off, 143 in India, $749. There's a definitive version which is still under our target, 172 and $9. I would recommend you get this one. Sniper Elite 4, so a long running franchise. You're primarily a sniper set during World War II, and you go through different regions. I've played the first one only so far. I tried a little bit of 3, I think, and yeah, it's still pretty fun. It makes those sort of slow motion headshots and X-ray vision type things very popular, so a lot of people play this for that. And this is 90% off, great deal, $6, 117 rupees, and the deluxe version is 173, $9. Next is Dirt Rally 2, a realistic racing off-road sim, and yeah, this is considered pretty good. There is the base version, which is only 142, $5, 75% off, and then there's the Game of the Year edition, which includes all the DLCs, all this here, and this is 239 in India, $10. Black Mesa is a full remake of the original Half-Life, not made by Valve, but Valve did support them, and basically they've added a few more things towards the end chapters, but otherwise they've faithfully recreated the original Half-Life. And this is 75% off, 132 In India, $5, 374 pounds. So if you're a fan of the old Half-Life game and you want to try a new take on it with better graphics, have a look at this. So another popular series, this is Metal Gear Solid 5, the Phantom Pain, the last in the Metal Gear series, I guess. And yeah, it's a stealth open world style game, very popular once again. 75% off, 192 in India, $5. There's the definitive experience, which has a lot of extra stuff. This is 399 in India, $749, so still under our target. Of course, no list is complete without Witcher 3 Wild Hunt Complete Edition. So the next gen upgrade was added recently, I think 15th of December. So that's a massive update to the base game, which was great anyway. And yeah, for a game this big, this good, it's ridiculous how cheap it is. So make sure to get the Game of the Year edition. Skip the base game because you get 2 massive expansions and a lot of smaller DLCs. So this is 80% off, 200 rupees, $10. You also get the free next gen stuff, which is already included. Next is Need for Speed Most Wanted from 2012, not the original one. And this game is about 10 years old now. The reason I'm mentioning this here is this might eventually get removed from digital sales because, as I've mentioned many times in the past, games with cars, official licensed cars, they have a period where they're allowed to sell the games, and after a while, when the licenses expire, most of the publishers don't bother renewing the licenses. They instead just remove the game because they've obviously sold a lot, made their money. So if you are a fan of arcade racers, check this one out. This is quite cheap right now. So exactly $249 in India, $5, $449. Now, of course, there is a bunch of items here. These are not on sale, so I'm not going to mention them. But if you do see a sale on this most complete DLC bundle, you'll get all the other stuff, the cars, etc. One of the best games from the last 10 years or so is Dishonored, in my opinion. A stealth first-person game and set in a sort of, you could say, what do you call this? Diesel punk, steampunk setting. Very interesting story, bit of supernatural element as well. You can play this like completely stealthily, or you can just, go and kill everything. So yeah, wonderful game. There's also a sequel. The base game is $167 in India, $249. There's a definitive version which is also under our target, just $249 in India and $5. A very popular indie game is Firewatch. This is a story-driven sort of walking simulator style game. I've heard a lot of people praise this game. I've not played this myself, so I thought I'll add this here because everybody keeps mentioning this game. And this is also surprisingly good and very affordable. So $220 in India, $5, 418 pounds. An open world GTA style game set in Hong Kong. This is Sleeping Dogs Definitive Edition, another game with a huge fan base. Everyone loves this game. Make sure to play this with controller though, because I've seen some people play this with keyboard and mouse and kind of struggle, so it's better suited with a controller. Now this is 85% off for the definitive version, $109 in India, $3, 239 pounds and 3 euros. One of my favorite recent games is Hellblade Sacrifice. I had been following the development of this game, and when it finally released, I was more than happy to jump in and get this game. So this is a game, a third-person linear story-driven game, again with supernatural elements. You are a Celtic warrior who's going through Viking hell to retrieve the soul of her lover. And there's more to it. The game, you should play this with headphones because the audio is amazing in this game. So this is 75% off, 182 rupees, $749, 624 pounds and 749 euros. Mad Max is our next game. This is a big open world game made by Avalanche Studios, published by Warner Brothers. One of my favorite open world games, probably the last open world game I enjoyed. And yeah, this has great car to car combat, hand to hand combat, a lot of car customization. The open world, the Wasteland, is quite impressive in my opinion. Some amazing landmarks. So this is very cheap right now. Once again, $247 in India, $5, 4 pounds. Pro Galactic is probably the most popular co-op game currently available. So up to 4 players can play in co-op FPS, and you don't have to have 4 players. It is also surprisingly easy to run on low-end systems. The download size is not that big. So made by Coffee Stain Publishing, which published some very good games. I think all of their games are pretty good, like stuff like Valheim, Satisfactory. They make all these games. So 67% off, 230 in India, $989, 824 pounds, and 989 euros. The Sinking City is a Lovecraftian third-person adventure game, let's say. And initially it had very bad reviews, but it has improved greatly. The recent ones are still mixed, but it's almost positive. So at 70% you'll have positive reviews. So yeah, it has improved quite a bit. Interesting story-driven game. And this is 80% off, 219 in India, $8, 7 pounds, and 7 euros. A surprisingly well-made game is Gears Tactics. So this is a XCOM style game set in the Gears universe, I think before the events of the main games. I'm not 100% sure, but graphically it looks good. Gameplay wise it's also fun, and I've tried this a little bit from the Game Pass, so you can check it out if you are unsure. If you're a fan of these XCOM style games, then you'll definitely like it. And yeah, generally I was quite impressed. Mixed reviews I think are because you have to, you know, go into the Xbox app and activate it or something like that. You need to have an Xbox account. I think that's why people don't like it. So it says here Xbox Live. So when you play it with the Game Pass, you have to like sort of agree to terms or something. 75% off, 224 in India, $10, 874 pounds, and 10 euros. Another hack and slash game, third person, very popular, is Darksiders II. This is the definitive edition because you're playing as Death. And I tried the original game and I didn't get into it, but a lot of people do enjoy these games. And this one is considered the best of the three, I think. So this is on a 75% sale, $249 in India, $749, 624 pounds, and 749 euros. So another post-apocalyptic game with a setting similar to Fallout is Wasteland, and this is Wasteland 2 Director's Cut. Came out many years after the first one. The original Wasteland was the inspiration for the Fallout games, and we've had the third one as well recently. So this is 75% off, 174 in India, $749, 594 pounds, and 624 euros, and this is the Director's Cut version. Open world survival crafting game, once again very popular. This is Ark Survival Evolved. This was given away free, I think a couple of times at least, both by Epic and Steam as well. So most of you should have it. If you don't have it, great time to pick it up, because I think the sequel is also coming out fairly soon, and this is also very cheap, only 132 rupees, $5, 387 pounds, and 419 euros. So many years ago I played Grim Fandango. This is a point and click adventure game with a story inspired by the Mexican folklore about afterlife and getting there, etc. So they made a remastered version for modern systems in 2015, so about 8 years ago almost. And yeah, this is a very fun game. If you haven't played this, this might be a great pickup. They did remaster it, but it's still mostly the same graphically. It's still in the 4:3 aspect ratio. But it's still a very good game, so definitely try this if you like point and click games. This is 70% off, 143 in India, $449, 329 pounds. So in one of my recent videos I mentioned F1 Manager 2022, and this is the sort of non-licensed version of the same thing. I played this a few years ago. In fact, I made a lot of videos on this on the main channel. It's also available on mobile, so you'll see a bit of that mobile feel to it, look and feel to it, but it's a very fun game. You manage your own team. There are multiple different series, so you have your F1 style and then your lower tiers as well, and the motorsport, the endurance stuff. And yeah, you can take a small team from the back of the grid, make them champions, stuff like that, manage everything from the factory to training the drivers, buying and selling, contracts, everything. Very detailed game, but not too complicated to get into. So if you have a basic idea of Formula 1, if you watch on Sunday, etc., you should be able to pick this up fairly quickly. This is 80% off, 153 in India, $4, 3 pounds, and 4 euros. Next is Valkyrie Chronicles. So this is a turn-based JRPG, you could say, tactical strategy, etc., set in a sort of war setting, kind of like the World War II. And this was originally, I think, exclusive to PlayStation, but got ported to PC a few years later. I've heard a lot of great things. I did eventually pick this up, like after many years. Still haven't played it though. And this is 75% off, 141 in India, $5, 374 pounds and €5. Now Sega has increased the base price in a lot of regions, especially in India. So the newer Sega stuff like Yakuza, that has gone up in price. So who knows, this might go up as well. Another turn-based strategy in the RPG style game is the Banner Saga. This is more of a Viking setting. Beautiful art style, wonderful music. It's got a story. You can get the first game and try it out, or you can get like the complete version, which is called the Stoic Edition. All the games, you have extras like a novel, some music for each of the games, etc. So the first game here is 80% off, 156 in India, $5, 374 pounds and €5. This is just the soundtrack. So as you know me, I like to put in a few racing games here and there, and this time we have Grid. So this is the same name as the game from like the 2000s, early 2000s, well not early 2000s, I think 2007. So they just rebooted the franchise. Initially it had very bad reviews, but it seems to have regained some positive reviews recently, and this is now 75% off, 142 in India, $5, 449 pounds and €5. The base game is still under our target, 189, I mean the Ultimate Edition, and $749. Another popular FPS with a lot of gore and action and comedy elements is Shadow Warrior. I'm pretty sure this has been given away at least a couple of times, so you may already have it, but if you don't, this is 90% off, 130 only, $3, 249 pounds and €289. There's a special edition which is still under our target, 240 and $6. Enslaved Odyssey to the West is another of my favorite games, a third-person action adventure game, linear, and this is another post-apocalyptic setting, but instead of like zombies and other creatures, you have mechs. So you're fighting mechs in this, and it's a cool story, a few characters, but generally very enjoyable. When I first played it, I really was taken by surprise. And this is now 85% off, 196 in India, $3, 224 pounds and €3. Our final game is Rage. So this game is kind of similar to Mad Max in some ways, but in first person. You have a post-apocalyptic setting, wasteland, mutated enemies, etc. And this is 70% off, 169 in India, $3, 239 pounds and €3. So yeah, so that's a quick look at a lot of games under 250 rupees. Let me know if you like this style of video more than like the regular one, because I decided to put in more games and make the video slightly longer, but just have more options, I guess. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.